I know what I want to do now to reorganize this stuff.
I know what I want to do today.
You want to save NHL for the next part of the show?
I do.
Tune into that. Anyway, right now we're going to talk some basketball. A lot of basketball.
Dribble.
NBA, NCAA men's, NCAA women's.
Now we have 3 things to talk about, so let's go. Let's get right off the bat. Kurt Rambis seems like he's going to be the official head coach of the New York Knicks.
It's a possibility.
They've definitely made that known that they want him there. Interim head coach, as you know, Kurt Rambis. I think he's going to get it, honestly, because I think the Knicks are just that stupid.
I agree so much with that.
I'm a Knicks fan, so I have absolutely no problem just saying it the way. I mean, listen, they're not going to get better with Kurt Rambis, so I mean, go ahead, though.
Somebody came out recently, I got the ESPN alert a few hours ago, that what Phil Jackson is doing is stupid. People in New York want big names. I agree with that. Obviously, if the big name...
Big names.
Yeah, if the big name correlates to big talent as a coach...
Absolutely.
Usually it does, because coaching, you don't get worse as a coach usually.
Well, listen, the NBA
as a player,
the NBA is a players' league anyway. Like, coaches really don't matter as much. Like, in the NFL, coaches, like...
Last-second decisions, though. We've seen Mike Woodson and... Derek Fisher makes
in terms of time management and things like that. Yeah, of course. In terms of the triangle offense as well, but
that's not going to change anytime soon.
But I definitely agree that Kurt Rambis should not be the head coach.
Our correspondent,
I'm still high on Tom Thibodeau. I think he should be the head coach. Okay. That's my top pick for the head coach. But you know what? Whatever. Rambis ruins every franchise he's been with into the ground. Oh, I'm sorry, he runs every franchise he's been
I was going to say ruins.
Into the ground.
Harsh words.
But I agree with you, Ethan. That was just courtesy of our correspondent, Ethan, and I agree with him 100%. Not that I hate Kurt Rambis, I just hate Kurt Rambis.
Anybody but Rambis, to be honest. Anybody but Rambis. Because we've seen, aside from Derek Fisher, we don't want him back. Anybody but Fisher and Rambis.
Anyone that
I don't mind.
Should just go opposite of what their initial feelings
exactly.
are. Because it's
that'll work. But I'm not, I don't care if it's big names, small names. I just want some talent out there. They debuted.
Well, do you think
Rambis and he failed?
Do you honestly think LeBron's coming to New York?
No.
Okay.
So let's move on now. That was the worst question I've heard all day.
He said he wants to play with Carmelo, and he hates Cleveland right now. So a lot of talks being, will him, D. Wade, and Carmelo Anthony just try to create that dream team by coming to New York? And I just don't understand.
I feel like they would have to go on a different team with a lot of money.
Yeah, definitely. I thought that was one of the stupidest things I've heard as well.
Let's move on.
Go ahead.
We have a big record at stake.
Oh yeah,
Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors.
100%. Golden State loses to the Timberwolves after losing to the Celtics. Now this is both back-to-back home games, and they lost back-to-back home games, and it was 17 points was their lead. 17
that
points.
Never happens. They never lose.
They never lose. They never lose at home. They never lose a lead. So they lost a lead at home and lost. And now they have to face the Grizzlies twice and the Spurs twice.
Spurs are undefeated at home.
And they have to play them at home. So for them, they have to win out 4 straight games.
I think they could tie it. I think they could tie the record. I don't know if they beat the Spurs.
I think at most they win 3 or 4 of these games.
Yeah, which would tie the record.
Obviously. I think that's a decent assumption. But then again, if they weren't going in facing this win-out scenario, I would say maybe they win 1 against the Grizzlies, maybe they win 1 against the Spurs.
Yeah,
most likely. Being that they're under this much pressure to do it, I think it's either going to translate to them losing, because, so far the pressure's translated to them losing 2 straight, but I definitely think that it's going to translate to them playing a little better, playing a little harder, realizing that they are beatable, that they are humans. And I think they...
Surprisingly.
I don't think they beat the record, though.
Okay,
Do you think they beat the record?
I think they tie at best. If they beat the record, I'd be very... Imagine they beat the record and lose the NBA championship.
First of all, I have more faith that they'll break the record. I have less faith that they'll... No, I think they'll break the record more than I think they'll lose the championship. I don't think they're breaking the record, so I don't see them losing in the championship.
You confused me.
That was so confusing.
Yes, you double.
They win the championship, no doubt in my mind. They don't break the record. That's what I'm trying to
say. NCAA tournament, men and women.
Well, let's talk about the women.
Let's talk about the women. Who won, Raphael? Who won?
I think it was UConn, but
wait. Didn't they win the year before?
No,
And the year before that? And the year before that?
and the games before that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable because UConn's women's team, just all they do is win.
That's all they do. That's all they do. I mean, it's amazing. Amazing.
They are
Amazing.
one of the most talented teams in terms of any sport anywhere. Like when you look at any sport,
Easily. Compared to their competition.
Oh yeah, no,
Absolutely.
I mean I'm talking about like just leagues and their and their respective best teams. They're competing with Golden State, who is the best team in the NBA. I venture to say that the UConn women are better than the Golden State men's in terms of NBA versus NCAA women.
Oh, you mean compared to their competition?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that the Golden State Warriors are as much as a force in the NBA as the NCAA women's UConn team is in their division.
I got a proposition for you. 7-game series, Philadelphia 76ers versus UConn women. Who wins?
76ers.
Really?
Absolutely.
Really? You think the 76ers?
Absolutely.
I know it's a talent drop, and they're better than the competition, but
I'm
still.
not even gonna go that far. I'm just going as far as physique is concerned. I'm talking about an NBA guy is just taller, faster, better skilled in general. Forget about the fact that the 76ers are terrible. It's just in terms of, it's not fair because if they were the same size...
I'm going to say height definitely plays a factor because you and me have played basketball. I can't play for my life, but one-on-one I beat them all the time just because I'm taller than
I'm
them.
better than John, I'd say, dribbling and shooting, but
Absolutely,
he beats me because he's just so much taller than me. And not just tall, I mean, they've got to be a little more skilled as well, not saying...
I'm going to say UConn women, though. I'm going to say they sweep the 76ers. That's how good they are. But I guess we should have a separate debate on this later. Right now, let's talk about March Madness Championship.
Ethan, I know you're listening. What do you think?
Yeah, please tell us.
76ers.
Rate this tie right here.
Series versus UConn women.
How many games do they win it in? The winner, whoever wins.
Yeah. But while we're looking for that answer, we're gonna move on to the NCAA men's because we had Villanova.
What a game! What a game!
Buzzer, man.
Explain a little bit. Explain what happened.
What happened? Like what went wrong?
No. I'm saying that. Just explain that last 4.7 seconds.
Okay. Well,
it was tied by that.
You had UNC just tying the game.
Amazing.
And everyone's like, okay, there's UNC. We're going into overtime. UNC's going to take it in overtime. They slacked off a little bit, and then all of a sudden, what was it? He's at the center of the court. He's at center court. He throws it to Jenkins, who's uncovered. That's like the best. He's the best. What do you call it? 3-point shooter on the team, and he's left completely open. Takes the shot, and there's the championship. It's unbelievable. One of the best finishes. At the buzzer, some people have said. Oh, I think it's gonna go down as one of the best finishes.
Definitely.
Especially because Villanova has been known as a choking team.
Yeah. No, they brought a championship to Philadelphia, something that the Phillies haven't done in a while, something that the Eagles have never done. I mean,
76ers will never do.
They brought some pride to Philadelphia, although they're a college team. They brought some pride.
And that's great. It's good for them. They played fantastic against North Carolina, who we both thought were going to pull it off.
Yeah, on our last show, that's what we were saying. If we had a retry at the bracket, we said, we got the first two right, that UNC would beat Syracuse, and that Villanova will beat...
we had the finals. Yeah, it's just UNC beats
Oklahoma, yeah.
But I definitely thought that this was going to be...
Yeah, many people did.
And it was UNC versus Syracuse and Nova versus Oklahoma.
Okay, and that's the end of the second part of our show.
Yep,
Stay tuned.